The purpose of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight is to showcase the Royal Air Force. It looks at many aspects. What we do is we commemorate our past, and really the Battle of Britain was the Royal Air Force's greatest battle honour, and therefore we have the aeroplanes from that era to commemorate that. It also shows that the pilots of today still retain core values, that same ethos and the same skill sets, and we demonstrate that through the displays. And it also looks to the future. It looks to inspire those of a younger generation as to look at what the nation has done in its past, those brave men and women that made these aeroplanes legends, take that inspiration and move forward with the Royal Air Force into a future generation. We have a new generation of engineers here at the flight also. We have 30 engineers to keep these aircraft running. We have a fleet of 12 aircraft and it needs the highest caliber of engineering excellence to make sure that these old ladies can stay in the air and commemorate the Royal Air Force and what it's done. But to do that, we have guys that are new to the Royal Air Force. They've only been in for 2 or 3 years. They've started their training on the Typhoon or the Tornado, and they have learned about those. And then they'll come here. If they've done very well, they'll come to the flight and they use that knowledge that they've got and they put that to good use, and they look at heritage engineering. It's a very different type of engineering, but all of the same standards apply. Everything has to be done to the highest of standards to make sure that these aircraft are as fit to fly as the Typhoons and Tornadoes that you can hear above us.
Modern RAF training doesn't cater for piston engines, propeller-driven aircraft so much now. We have to fill in all the older skills that we still need to work on these aircraft. For instance, piston, propellers, airframe repairs, it's all different. So we have a in-house training scheme, so the guys can, when they first arrive, they do a Module A and learn about the smaller aircraft we've got, the Chipmunk. And then as they go through the training scheme, they build themselves up, getting more in-depth theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge of all the aircraft that we operate. We've got quite a support network out there of civilian companies that help us out, but fundamentally we, like every other aircraft that the Royal Air Force operates, we have to go to a document set. Generally we're pretty good from spares. We can pretty well get everything. If we've got a number and it's in supply, that's pretty straightforward. Certainly general spares that are used on other aircraft, we can cover all that off quite nicely. And if we've got a drawing, we can even go out to a company and get it made.
I think the biggest difference and the biggest challenge is going from your fault finding and investigations. A lot of it's written down of your step-by-step process on modern aircraft, whereas we've got to think for ourselves on our feet and be very adaptable in what we do and how we find our information, ranging from handwritten notes. We've got one written from 1942. It's all handwritten in pen, and it's got illustrations as well that were done by the person themselves. So it can be hard to decipher through what they were meaning at the time, just through the different ways that people speak from back then to nowadays as well.
Ex-Sergeant Pilot Royal Air Force a long time ago, and now a Battle of Britain Memorial Flight tour guide, and I've been for the last 28 years. Probably the best job in the world. We get asked today, well I get asked anyway as an ex-pilot, like, is it easy to fly? It depends how you look at it, because it's 1940s aeroplane. It's not easy to fly by today's standards because there's no power controls as such. Pilot flies it. It's heavy. It's got a mind of its own. You might think you're going one way and land says, no you're not, you're going the other way. It does it, and you got used to it. It's a big aeroplane, but somebody was very kind enough to give me one of those when I was 20 years and 3 months old. Declared that there's no road tax, you don't have to buy any petrol, there's no insurance to find, and you've got 6 people here standing by waiting to help you. So that was quite an experience at 20 years, 3 months old. Bear in mind that During the war, quite a lot of aircrew were even younger than that.
It's a very special year, again, for a number of reasons. The big anniversary, if you like, this year, or there's a number of them, but we've got 2 during our flying display season and 1 just afterwards. We've got the 70th anniversary of D-Day, which will be an enormous event. We will be taking 4 aircraft to Normandy, all of them in D-Day colours. We'll have a Mark 19 Spitfire, a Mark 9 Spitfire, the Dakota, which of course was intrinsic to those D-Day landings, dropping out paratroopers over the Normandy coastline, and also we'll be taking the Lancaster, which is painted as a 617 aircraft, which took part in Taxable, which was the spoofing raid on D-Day to try and spoof the Germans that the raid was going to go somewhere else. So we'll have a very heavy BVNF presence down at Normandy this year. As we look forward to later in the year, we also have the anniversary of Arnhem. So again, the Dakota will be the star of the show. It's the 70th anniversary of that. So we'll be looking to represent the Royal Air Force and the flight over in Arnhem. We're looking to dispatch parachutists for that. And then looking a little further on, we also have the 70th anniversary of the amazing Tirpitz raid, which unfortunately we won't be flying for, but we still hope to be very much involved in that anniversary towards the end of the year. And the other big thing that we've got going on this year is something that hasn't happened for a very, very long time, is we have the Canadian Lancaster, the only other airworthy Lancaster in the world, which is going to come and visit us in August. This is going to be a phenomenal event. It is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime chance for many to see these 2 historic, legendary aircraft flying together. So in August and early September, you will hear the sound of at least 8 Merlins, and I expect they'll be escorted by fighters. So you can expect 10, 12, maybe 14 Merlins all in one place, 8 of which will be belonging to the Lancasters.
For your tomorrow, they gave their today. We're doing what we do today to keep their memory alive tomorrow, and I think that's the biggest thing, so that it's never forgotten. The sacrifice that not just Air Force have given in wars, but everybody.